Hey everyone on SDC, it's Angelique Luna. I'm here by myself for date night with the Lunas. John is not feeling the world's greatest, so give us a few minutes. Oops. Hey, that was quick. What happened to our theme song?
I thought you were starting. Let me keep going.
It's okay. It's like, welcome to date night with the Lunas. Take two with date night with the Lunas going solo. Miss Angelique Luna here. John is not feeling the world's greatest. I'm hoping he's feel better because Wednesday we're leaving on the Virgin Voyage for our 10-year anniversary cruise. Yay! Can't believe we made it 10 years of wedding anniversary. So I'm going to try to keep you as entertained as possible here. But like to start off with our sponsor, Fairvilla University. We strive to provide a judgment-free learning educational experience where everyone gets to learn everything and an opportunity, judgment free, all different ones. So we have an upcoming class on July 21st, so next Thursday, 2 weeks from now, and it's called Power Exchange Relationships. BDSM beyond the bedroom. So, if you ever are curious about BDSM, power exchange, this is the class to attend because we actually do go down, breaking it down how the dynamics work in a power exchange relationship. With the communications, the different styles, the dominant, the submissive, the 24/7 communication skills, jealousy, structure, protocols. So we'll be covering all those different things. The class is only $15, so it's pretty reasonable. Still, we're doing it on Zoom, online. And then afterwards, please fill out the surveys because that gives us feedback to let us know how we're doing. How's the class going? Did you learn anything? Is there something you want to do? Fantastic. And then we give you a 15% discount on your sale, on your purchase online or in the store at Fairvilla here. They have like 5 different locations. There's one in Key West, and then 4 here in Orlando. So check them out, fairvillauniversity.com for our latest classes. Also fairvilla.com/education to see what classes are coming up. So it's Monday, July 11th. I know we weren't here and we were supposed to have some guests today, but unfortunately we had to cancel because we booked a very last minute cruise to Virgin Voyage, leaving Wednesday for 5 nights. They're all adults cruise, so no kids. It's gonna be my first time going on an all adults, no kids, vanilla cruise because as far as I know, it's not swinger. It could be swinger friendly. I have no idea. We'll find out. I'll keep you posted because they do include Wi-Fi, so I could be like posting a little bit of our adventures, see what we're doing, what we're going. It's like, I wasn't too impressed on like their websites because I guess Disney and Royal Caribbean has spoiled me on how thorough like their descriptions of their services of what they have, especially in like their spa. So it kind of give me a general idea. So I was trying to see what was available. It's like, do anyone do like any other like fun services on the boat, like their massage, their pedicure, manicure, or any other things? I'm just curious, because I know we were on the Bliss cruise back in 2019. I mean, we were having more fun like working and playing in the playrooms than actually taking care of the services. So, and come to think about it, I don't even know if anyone really took advantage of their services that they had, like the massage, the pedicure, the spa, the whole 9 yards. And there's a couple of things going on. Uh, what did you enjoy about your 4th of July weekend other than fireworks and, barbecues, food? I think that's always the all American food going out there because I just can't remember like really having like traditional American until I kind of like came down on the Disney college program that I found out there was more than, like rice, beans, what do you call it, burgers, because it was just like you had the hot dogs with the sandwich buns. That's how I grew up. Anyone grew up that way where um doing foods? God, it's quiet today. It's like gotta figure this out. Well, no foodies in the room. Interesting. So, just a friendly reminder on SDC. This is a being broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, and BFAM 109.6. And what do you call it? So there is no nudity. There's no show. It's educational. Um, can Hey Jameson says yes. You're joking in. Yes, yes. Speaking of joking, has anyone seen Cristella's Alonso's new middle class on Netflix? Hey, Caraco, how are you? Like, just saw that and I just laughed my head off so much because everything she said is like so accurate for, a Latina and let alone Mexican. It's like growing up, like, she's like, she had finally got insurance. She didn't know what to do because everything was always solved by Vicks Vaporub. Everything was solved with, I just don't know what it is. So it's like when I was watching My Greek Wedding, I always laugh when they're like, yeah, you solve it with Windex. I'm like, yeah. So for Greeks, it's Windex. For, Mexicans and Latinos, it's Vicks Vaporub. That saves everything. And it's like, I can't remember the incantation my parents used to say, like sana, sana, Santa Rana, something, something, just to like cure. I have to go research that. But those were like one of the ailments like we used to like take care of ourselves because we didn't have insurance. Luckily my parents always had insurance, so I was good, but like hearing that from Costello was pretty funny to hear. So how has anybody how's has everyone had a chance to check out our YouTube channel and see all our videos, reviews on Fairvilla and our latest toys? Because I know we're going to probably be having some fun taking the Nora and the Max on there. And of course, I don't have any toys right now. This is what happens. John's always like setting everything up, and I'm here solo trying to do this. Since you're going on a vanilla cruise, what types of signs are you going to weirdo to show you're in the lifestyle? Well, definitely John has a pineapple shirt. So of course the universal symbol of pineapple. Then I have a little cute pineapple purse that funny, I got it at Disney. It's so adorable. So it'll carry like all my essentials, like, my room key card, my credit card. Well, I don't even think I need my credit cards, except we're going to Key West and then also to Virgin's private island, quote unquote. So yeah, we're going to do that and probably put a pineapple outside our stateroom. So that's what it's like. I really don't have any like pineapple jewelry or other stuff pineapple-ish to show off, like usually how anyone said. What does pineapple mean to you? Well, apparently somewhere in the swinger community, it has to be within the last less than 10 years. It means that you're a swinger with the pineapple, especially the upside down pineapple, because some people have actually tried the experiment of going through the grocery store with an upside down pineapple in their cart and actually got picked up a couple of dates, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't know that when I started swinging back in the 90s. God, I can't believe it's been that long. But that's how some people say. I usually am pretty bold asking people when I kind of see them, and especially if they're in the group, I just kind of like, hey, are you in the lifestyle? Either yes or no. I remember one time they always have these cute games on the cruise ships, like do you know your mate, or I can't remember what's it. I think is that it? I just got a look with a pineapple upside down in my cart. See, that's weird. They should have approached you. Yeah, so we were on a Royal Caribbean and they were doing like a game show, and there's like, how do you know your mate? And so one couple said, answered the question. It's like, what is the weirdest thing you've ever done? And they're like, well, we had sex with our friends in the cabin. And I was like, what? It's like, you think that's weird? Okay, swingers. So I spent like the next day, because to me, it was a small ship. And it's like, it was still enough that I did find them. I was super excited. I went up to them. I asked them, it's like, so how long have you been in lifestyles? Or, and they kind of looked at me kind of cross-eyed, deer in the headlights. And I'm like, fuck. They're like, what do you mean lifestyle? I'm like, never mind. It's like, just had to walk away. Just literally had to walk away because it was just like, it was so disappointing because they were all cute. The four of them were cute, but for them, it was like newbies. That's my hard limit. I can't with newbies. As much as I try, I really do try. I can't. absolutely, yeah, I literally can't, because one of my rules is you have to be together in the lifestyle for at least a year. At least, because then at least I know that you have worked through your jealousy, your triggers, your trauma, or anything, or know how to handle it, or have established those boundaries, or established things to get comfortable to continue on, and how to ask your partner, how to talk about it. I always tell people, it's like, think about sex like a sporting event. You have your pre-game show that you talk about what do you want to do, what's possible, what's on the game, what's on the what's on the play, who's in the play. Then you actually go through the play and then do a post-game wrap up. What was good, what was bad, what could have improved. None of this like you should have known this, none of this like, oh, you should have done this. It's like none of all of that shit. So it's like, try not, no one's a psychic, and especially when you're like in an open relationship or in the lifestyle, it's just like you really need to figure out what are your triggers, what are your boundaries, what is your communication skills. Or if something like it got you so fuming mad, take a time out, write it all out, process it all out, take a deep breath, and then schedule a sit down with your partner and say, hey, let's go over the notes. This is what I experienced, this is what I saw. These are the things we want to talk about. So that way it's at a safe, neutral zone, and don't wait until it's like some kind of explosion or something. And always consistently check in, because you never know what may or may be buried underneath God knows what after so many years. So it's one of those things you never want to get caught off guard, but still it happens. I know we just recently went through that. We just had a little bit of a fight, John and I, and yeah, it's like I had some shit that I should have like processed out a long time ago, and it's still there. So we're still working through it. We're still trying to figure out a safe way to really heal from both of it, because it seems like one-sided, that I'm always the victim, and I guess that is my portrayal and my interpretation. Do you have the black ring for your right? No, see, the black ring on your right hand for cruise. No, I didn't even know that was a thing. That's still, it's like, again, all these new things and these new trends. I'm like, what up with that? Who came up with all these new trends? It's like, and even me, like trying to catch up with a lot of the other, like, swinger podcasts and swinger blogs and shows. It's just like, I'm like, dude, the only thing I'm waiting for is like the big neon sign saying, hey, swinger right here. I mean, but I think those are the name necklaces that I didn't see, because I know we were like recently at a pool party, and a couple of people had their name necklaces on there. I don't know if they made them as bracelets, but I know in the Bliss Cruise they were having like little arts and crafts. I was like, arts and crafts at a swinger cruise. I'm like, how insane is that? But yes, it was so people could make their little necklace with their name on it. So what other logos or things that you folks may know about swingers and how to identify a swinger in the wild, other than having like I can't, pineapple in the wild back there. See, we have that. I was like, I forgot to turn on the light there. So again, it's like usually John does this, but poor boy, it's like, I hope he feels better after today so he can enjoy the cruise. So I'm kind of excited, because it's like we have an ocean balcony view, and also apparently on Virgin Voyage they have like a hammock out there. So I can't remember the last time I had sex in a hammock. Did anyone? I mean, I know it had to be outdoor. I can make you shirts with the cruise. Just tell me what you want. We'll talk offline there. Yeah, but has anyone had sex in the hammock? I want to know. I know I had, but that was like many years ago when I was, young and flexible and God knows what. Just, oh God, no. It's like, yeah, it's like I haven't worked out in a while. No, I have not. Okay, that's one. But I know you've had outdoor sex, so that that's a given. But it's like, does anyone have like any outdoor adventures? Especially now it's July, it's pretty hot. There's a couple of camps going. What was it? Dark Odyssey has, God, I can't remember their name of their camp. So they have like a camp that they just had a couple of weeks ago because Marla was on there. Marla Stewart, the Velvet Lips educator. She was teaching some classes there. I wanted to touch base with her to see how she liked it, but see, it's camping. I can't do the great outdoors like that. It's just has what everyone's feels about camping, or do you enjoy it and your partner doesn't? So how do you compromise? How do you work this out? Oops, excuse me. No, it's just like being a little piggy wiggy. Um, you know, things like that. Because I know it's like I've always been adventurous. I've always been an exhibitionist um, to say the least. So that's always a given. So when John and I first got together, he is not an exhibitionist. I think he was more like the secret voyeur. I can do it. Husband doesn't like it, so we won't. We don't go. See that's a prime example of like outsource. It's like, okay, can we switch? Because at that point, I will lend you John. I will take your husband, and we'll call it even there. Because John's all about camping. He used to like when we were moving from his old house to over here. It's like we cleaned out his attic, and there was like this 8-person tent, all this camping gear, all this percolate. I was just like, what the heck? It's just like, I just think it's just too much gear just to like go and you have to hike and do that. Like to me, I think the closest I will lie. I did go on one camping excursion, and it was yeah, Pretty Little Princess couldn't put her tent up, so I had to have other people do that, and I couldn't cook my food. I couldn't do anything. I was just like I was completely useless. How I survived that weekend is probably by my looks at that point because everyone took pity on me because I couldn't. But the next, like, kind of roughing it, and honestly, Disney's not roughing it, was the Fort Wilderness campgrounds. They had their cabins. I love those things. Those are luxurious outdoor living. Had a little grill outside so I could barbecue, had full amenity. I mean, it doesn't look like a trailer or a cabin. I mean, it looked like a hotel room, but again, it's Disney. Go figure. It's like they always do everything upscale in that aspects. But fun and exciting things. Okay, I'm spoiled. Disney campgrounds with an RV. I don't know. We'll negotiate. That's a negotiation. Can do. But John helped me write the latest article in ASN magazine, which I did. It's the July edition. So if you go to ASN magazine, I think it's .net or .com. I have to double check how to get in there. I have their what do you call it? I wrote all about Sugar Baby. And I just thought, yes, asnlifestylemagazine.com. That is the actual website for it. To check it out, our latest little article, because John, and you could go and check past articles. Like John has a couple of them back then. One of them that's really gotten real popular was his kidnapping fantasy, which kind of is, kind of isn't, because a lot of the logistics were actually worked out. Did it happen? Cannot say. Is it possible? The way it's written? Absolutely. So I wrote about ASN okay. Speaking of outdoor sex, where's the wildest outdoor place you had sex with at? Probably a couple people don't know. I used to work at Disney 15 years. And if you go down to Disney, there's the cookie place where they make the fresh baked cookies facing the castle. On the roof of that, at night, overlooking the castle at night, beautiful scene outdoor on top of the roof. I can say that now because I don't work at Disney anymore. They can't sue me, they can't catch me, but that was the most amazing view I ever had having sex out in the wild, overlooking Cinderella's castle. It's like, oh God, that was just not only awesome sex, but just orgasmic, just having sex in front of the castle. I love it. I can't tell you if there was people underneath or not walking around. I just know it was just Oh, it was fun. Yeah, because there were so many places having fun at Disney. It's like I still, wherever dark rides, I try to find where the cameras are. Haunted Mansion, not so much. There's like a lot of cameras everywhere on every angle. But Spaceship Earth, I was actually surprised. Over at Epcot, not a lot of cameras. So there, but a lot of dark sections of it. So you could really have some fun. Um, and Tower of Terror, that was another one. No, it's like too many cameras, and they mess with you on that one. But then a couple of backstage areas, and then yeah, that was like the wildest outdoor to me, and still the most like amazing moment there. I know it's like I did. There was another place, Boardwalk, because I used to work there. So yeah, too many places at Boardwalk there that we did. But no, it's like I was going back to that sugar dating article that I wrote. So I've been surprised a couple of younger guys, like in their 30s and a couple of 20s, actually approached me on this. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I have never dated, let alone had sex with someone way much younger than me. Now that's gonna be the question. Has anyone had sex with younger people? Snooky, 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 Snooky. How are you? I want to know because I had one guy and he was 21, and that's my daughter's age, and that's like to me it's a hard limit. But he's trying to Rico Suave me big time, even with what do you call it? It's like finances and I was just like, what? You could afford that at 21. He's like, yeah, da da da. So apparently he comes from old money, so spoiled rich kid. But I'm like, 21. How can I get into a sugar arrangement with a 21-year-old sugar daddy? That is like so. But I want to know from the audience: has anyone had sex significantly younger? Guys, I know all the time, but I'm like, but women. I guess the women. Young is not nice. Yeah, that's true. It's not because they're just inexperienced. That's why I've always gone older. I've always gone older, and that's why when I have some older men that sometimes ED comes on, I'm like, dude, I know how to work around this shit. I know how to make it work and be happy. It's just the younger guys. I'm like, and then it's like, I guess I get my fear. It's like when they're young, are they emotional attached or do they have mommy issues? Like, really, how do they like really get to that? So 15 15 is my junior. I prefer my age or older. That way they know how to enjoy. Yes, yes, that does. Because it's like, especially a youngin, like in their 20s, I still think they don't know what they're doing. Like they're still learning how to walk before they're learning how to fuck kind of deal. That's kind of like my mentality on that age group. 30s, okay. I'm like, I'm kind of with that, but I'm like, 20s, yeah, no, yeah, that's why I know. I just like I couldn't. It's like I don't care how many Benjamins you have and how many you're like showing. It's just like I just couldn't. It's like I tried, and it's like I tried to put me, but he was just like, oh, and whoa, he was really like laying on thick the Rico Suave, and it's like, ooh, yeah, it's nice to come together. Absolutely. Because then at least you kind of know and you kind of tell the body language, because I know those youngins, they just get focused. They get like laser focus or horse blinders focus. And I'm just like, there's more language going on with the body, how it's moving, how it's arcing, how the juices are flowing, how they're not, and again, lube is such a wonderful thing. It's just I always get so upset when people get offended by using lube, and I'm like, dude, you're missing out on some awesome pleasure, because not everyone is lubricated. Yeah, they think they are rabbits. Oh yes, yes, they hump and dump like rabbits. I carry lube in my car at 16. You were smart at 16, and probably, yeah, it's like all the time. Yeah, because it's like nowadays you could get like sample, like we have cases of samples, like Swiss Army samples. We got little like one silk lube samples that we get, so you don't have to carry the big ones. I love like Fairvilla. They actually have like all the different like J lubes, so you can mix and match sample size to purchase. So that way, if you want to try different flavors, different textures, like there's silicone, there's hybrid, there's water based. So, but always pay attention to your toys. What is it that you're needing? And that's the other thing with the youngins. Like they automatically think, "Why do you need a toy? I am enough." And I'm like, yeah, there's more to it. It's just like, especially with when it comes to toys, it's like there's a toy for everything. Honestly, there's a toy for the clit, there's a toy for the butt, there's a toy for the vulva, there's a toy for, the penis, everything. It's just like there is no shame in using a toy. And I forgot, it's like I was watching, there's this new series, or it's been on for like a couple seasons, called Sex Sells. It's on Fuse TV, and I can't find the replays, which sucks because I really do want to see a lot of them, because a lot of our like fellow educators and friends, they're on the show and they're talking about their careers, how much they make, how much they put out, like an overhead for what they do. And they were talking about, like, one guy was like, I don't need a cock ring. Why do I have to have a cock ring there? And it's just like, do you even know the benefits of a cock ring? First time I was 17 in Spain, my friends were 21, and she said, I can't believe it. It's so we fucked, got 2 days more. It's so we fuck. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't understand the benefits of a cock ring in regards to how it, like, holds the blood and makes your erection harder. That's the benefits. Because when we were in the Bluster Cruise, I just coined John the cock ring whisperer. Cock ring whisperer, because I want to know how many cock rings they sold. We didn't know, but we know we made bank and sales compared to the previous cruise there, because we were selling a lot of it. He's not feeling well today, Suki, so I'm just by myself. That's why. Sorry. But John was talking with all those guys, and explaining the science behind the cock rings, the benefits, saying why people should use them and not be afraid, the different styles. Oh no, it's not COVID. It's not. It's just some other stuff. So he's good. No, because we're going to be on a cruise on Wednesday. So yeah, and we already tested. So yeah, we got tested today. So any which way, our test says no COVID. So we're fine. So no worries on that. So hopefully, but Beavis is going crazy again. What is that? Beavis? Oh, cruise in Europe. No, it's not a cruise in Europe. It's out of Miami. It's Virgin Voyages. So we're going on their Scarlet cruise. So I know it's going to Miami, Key West, their private island, day at sea, and then back to Miami. So that's where we're going. So it's all adults. Someone was telling me the food in the show is amazing. So we're looking forward to all that. Looking to say, I already know it's going to be a fantastic time, because Richard Branson hired all of the original Disney Cruise Line executives. So I'm like, smart. And if you cruise on Disney Cruise Line when it first started back in 1998, all the way up to like maybe 2015, 16, you know how amazing the service was and the food and everything. So Sex Cruise would be nice. Oh yes, that is. Hello, Wingham couple. Yeah, that's the swinger cruises. Those are amazing. Like I said, the Bliss Cruise. There's a couple on SDC, the Ibiza's cruise. So that's still on my bucket list. I forgot to add that, bucket list of places to go, because I'm still focused on Paris. I am so strong focused. Like I am putting that shit out and manifest. Like I'm going to Paris. I'm going to Paris. That's where I'm like trying. But now I just discovered my friend is getting married 2023 February. We're going to Australia finally. Woohoo! So now I'm trying to find tickets and all that. So, which I should probably ask a travel agent instead of try and be myself a travel agent there. Because it's like the flights is like 28 hours, 20. It's like, and I'm like thinking maybe we should break it up, go over to either Los Angeles or Houston, break the trip up to no how, so that way we're not stuck, but still trying to figure that out, all that fun stuff. I think, okay, we're close to our halfway point, so I have to talk about my next sponsor, Elma Fudge. Today we have dark chocolate cherries. So that is $1 a piece, or you could order a tray by texting them 678 322 7802. It's just $1 a piece. Or, like I said, you could order a tray 678 322 7802. Okay, now I can't open this. And okay, I'm going to let you know a little secret. I took this out when we got at the beginning of the broadcast because I didn't want to leave the broadcast. I should put a friggin' ice pack in it because the lights here melts it. So it's kind of melty. So please forgive me if it's just like one big splashing mess here. It's like, can't tell. Is that like, okay, so that is what it looks like, the dark chocolate cherry. Remember, type 2 diabetic. So if I go into sugar shock, you know why. It was dark. It was Elma Fudd. What kind of, it's like, I got to ask my producer, what the hell is kind of cherry is it? It's like candy or something? Mm. Mm. Oh, super sweet. Oh, oh, that. Oh, yo. Oh, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's really good, but I'm like, whoa. Super sweet. Like, super. Oh my God. It was just like, oh my God. Oh God. I don't know. That's just as bad as the white unicorn fudge that we had the other day. Oh my God. Oh. So, thank you for everyone who has been ordering. And I need you to please, I don't want to be pushing shit here. It's like, pimping stuff out without getting feedback. So please send reviews on what you've ordered, which is because someone ordered a whole white unicorn tray. I want to know your feedback. I want to know what's going on. So please send in your feedback in regards to that. I'm like, oh man. Damn, oh God. Oh, it's like, oh. I'm just gonna have to give that to John. He's gonna have to finish eating that because it's like, oh God, what are those? The Mary Queens, those chocolate cordials? Like they have it during Christmas. I know. Hello, it's 7 p.m. Hopefully we can talk. I have a nice cruise. Oh yeah. Good night, Snooky. We'll talk later. I'll say hello to John. Bye bye. Yeah, we still need to talk offline, Snooky. I don't like cherry and chocolate and mint. I like the nuts. Tis. Okay, that's cool. Sorry, still recovering. Damn it. Again, diabetic. If I go into a sugar coma, please like blame our sponsor. It's like, again, I like pimping shit out, but I definitely just always want. Wow, that was super sweet. That was really super sweet there. Wow. I don't like cherry. And the funny part is I did read mint and not mind. So that's pretty bad of me. Like I knew what you're talking about, but oh my, wow. That was just like, wow. But yeah, for the rest of the, thanks James and Tess for your feedback in regards to the, the Elmer Fudge. Sorry, still trying to recuperate. Oh my God. I'm afraid to check my sugar now because it's just going, whew. All that. Oh Lord, kind of deal. But yes, please. I just don't like pimping shit out without people giving me their honest feedback. And also, our sponsor Elmer Fudge wants to have feedback because he puts a lot of love and effort into this because it's a mom and pop store that they wrap these up themselves, and create the stickers that I kind of like destroyed here. So please, send back feedback because it's like a lot of you have been very kind and reordering, but not using the what do you call it? The coupon, the like buyback coupons there. So that's why they don't know if you really liked it or you really don't, kind of deal. Some girls like it sweet. Yeah, yeah, they do. Some guys like it sweet there because, I got like the craziest compliment like a couple weeks ago. It was like someone was going down on me and they're like, "You have the sweetest pussy I've ever licked." And I'm like, "Okay, I've never thought of that." But then I like kept going back to a couple of my other like playmates I played with, and they all say the same thing. And I'm like, I think, is it because I'm a diabetic? And not like a really, you know, good diabetic per se, because it's like I kind of like take care of, but yeah, it's like everyone says like my juices down there are always sweet. I'm like, okay, I did not know that. I just like, okay. Yeah, like some guys, like men and hygiene, it's like I don't, you know I don't like to discriminate, but I just don't prefer, ethnic men. It's just something I've tried. I can't. I really, it's just, I don't know if it's psychological, if it's order. It's just, I'm a white meat kind of girl. I prefer my white meat, and that's it. And I'm not being racist. I'm not being discriminating. It's just, that's my preference. It's just, I try. And then I'm like, there is some hot, gorgeous ethnic men out there, but I'm just like, can't. It's just, I don't know. I just can't. And like I said, it's not just being mean or anything, but that's just my preference. Like, people like a specific type of food, or, pastas, or, sushi. Everyone has their flavors. And it's just like, we shouldn't like be so, quick to judge others based on their taste or flavors of life that they choose, because that's why we have so much wars. And I try not to be political today, but that's just the way things are. Let's see, any questions you have for our upcoming class, our power exchange class, because I really want to make sure I cover a lot of the things in there, other than the basics like communications, expectations, contracts. I think I have to put something in the contract, like an actual contract for people to like mimic and go through, because it's like people don't understand like how detailed this could be, or how generic it could be, like a one pager, or it could be like the, what you saw in the movies, like the Bible, like 600-page contract that you have to go through and line scratch. It's like, wow. It's just things that makes people comfortable. Some people need structure. Some people need control. Some people need to release that control in regards to let someone else make decisions. Let someone else be in charge. Do you find that fascinating? Do you find that cringeworthy? What's your thoughts, folks? I need to know so I know how to address it during class. Anyway, still surviving from the cherries. That thing was super sweet. All right. If you don't want to ask, send me anywhere on our social media sites a message. Let me know exactly what you do. And then our next class, I think it's in August. I'm not sure if it's July or August, but we're doing another class on intimacy. And that one, we're really going deep down, not only the sexual intimacy, but physical, mental, emotional, spiritual intimacy, like really get deep on understanding all the different types available. Because people, anytime they hear intimacy, they automatically sex. It's sex. That's all what intimacy is about. All reality, it's not. It's more than that. It's like, yeah, my hair's right now a mess. It's like, I'm not too happy about it. Because you got to think about, you could be intimate with your best friend, but not sexually. Like, you could talk about anything. You could be intimate. You could describe things. You could like, feel free to be yourself in the judgment-free zone. Know that whatever closeness you are, it's sacred to each other. You could be, intimate with like your siblings and your parents, like have that closeness. But again, it's not dirty. It's not sexual. It is getting to be like on the same level, same playing field per se, like getting to know someone, getting to open up, be vulnerable, trust them in, getting to know each other as a person, know each other as an individual. So that's where we're trying to teach with this class of intimacy, that there is so many different ways to be intimate, and also intimate with yourself, being vulnerable, being, honest, be able to communicate with yourself, knowing what is it that you're looking for, what makes you happy, what makes you close in your judgment for yourself. Because it's like we're always here sacrificing for other people, being there, being the mother, being the employer, being the brother, being the father, being the dad. It's like we have so many roles and titles that we kind of forget who the fuck we are in the process. And sometimes forgetting that, it's like, whoa, it's hard. It's really hard. And then you have to deprogram that kind of thinking and really think on, what the heck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I so exhausted? Why do I feel like I can't be functional? I can't be there for somebody. And sometimes it happens because we just are quick to surrender ourselves to others, put ourselves to the side instead of focusing on who we are, how to recharge our batteries, how to reset ourselves so we can be there for other people. I know in the therapy world, we talk about spoons. So at the beginning of the day, for example, you would start with 10 spoons, and the spoons are recognized as, what do you call it? Energy levels. So depending on what it is, it'll take that many spoons. So is it um, 2 spoons for getting up, getting kids ready, you go through work, you get 3 spoons, you're already halfway done with your spoons by this point. So it's managing those spoons, those energies, to make it feel better. Someone had a question: is it bad to have an interracial fetish and breeding fetish? No, as long as it's consensual and negotiated. So you can have that, but it is trying to find the right partner that you can negotiate the scenes and have that. Actually, there are a few BDSM dominatrix that I don't know personally, but I do know through friends that that's their market, that they are, what do you call it? Interracial fetish, like basically a slave or a slave owner kind of deal, working. So yeah, they're out there. It's just a matter of trying to find the right person that could be there. Any fetish that you have, it might be considered not normal for the rest of society. As long as it's done consensually, negotiated, you find a partner, that you go through all the details, do everything, then that's your happy, healthy, safe zone. That's one thing that a lot of my clients, they say, am I normal? And I'm like, define normal. What is your normal? Because what is our normal compared to the rest of the world is completely different. Like, to be honest, I am nowhere near normal because I talk to the dead. I deal with like spirits left and right. I am in a bisexual open relationship, BDSM, swinging, polyamory. I mean, my life itself is nowhere near normal by any means, any definitions there. Would it be great television? Probably, with all the things, but you know how TV is. They're always looking for scandal and drama. And, oh, just me, I'll clutch the pearls kind of deal. I've had my fair shares. It's like still going through that, but I try to normalize everything so people could feel confident and healthy about themselves. Uh, I can't remember who I was talking to. Oh yeah, I just did a podcast interview with somebody, and they were saying like the number one fantasy for women is being raped. And I'm like, well, it kind of makes sense because some women prefer to have no control, that someone else has power over them. Again, it's all psychological things. Would rest of society said that's, oh my god, that's so messed up? It's like, if it's consensually agreed, negotiated, then, and if it's something that gives them their release of whatever orgasm, mental break, or satisfaction, then, and done in a healthy environment, I don't see why is it wrong, as long as it's done safely. That's what we would consider a consensual non-consent scene. a scene is like an act or a like, like a movie, like here's an action, this is what's going on, and here's a script for it. So that is a scene. Happened with Ted Bundy and Girls in Court. Again, yeah, to them they were negotiated, but based on the law and based on whoever prosecutes it, it's in definition. So that's one thing you have to understand. Please know your laws in your state, because there is not one universal law of consent across the 50 states. There's none. There's none. The National Coalition for Sexual Freedom is fighting that to really establish a universal court law of consent across the board, because um, in Ohio, you cannot consent to being hit. There is a case, and I need to see where it ended up, where a couple was consensually married, doing a BDSM scene, got a little bit too loud, got a noisy little no, uh, got a little bit too loud that the nosy neighbor next door called the police on the neighbor. They opened the door. Police asked the woman, "Did your husband hit you?" "Well, yeah, it was consensual because we're doing a BDSM scene." "Sir, step out of the house." They arrested him. Even though it was consensual in their own house, they still got arrested and they still went to jail. Well, the husband did. So, National Coalition Sexual Freedom has been fighting that fight to get the husband out, because even though it was a consensual, married, negotiated scene in their private home, a noisy neighbor called out the police, and they were being honest. They didn't see no harm. It's like, that's between two adults. It wasn't a domestic violence, it wasn't abuse, but because the law says if you hit someone, yeah. So please get to know your laws in your state to understand what's going on. Funny, stupid laws, Texas, of course. God, anyone wants to watch a funny real life documentary, and this is like authentic real life. This is not like Idiocracy that you think it's it's a parody that's a documentary. No, no, no. This is a real life documentary that you would think it's a parody. Looked up the Dildo Diaries, and I know it's available on YouTube last time I checked. It goes through a lot of court cases. A majority of them are out of Texas. Go figure. There is a meme going around, and I wish I reposted it. I probably might create my own, that it is illegal to own 6 dildos, toy dildos, sex toy dildos in your home. That it's a felony, and they actually do make you sign a waiver in there that you cannot own more than 6 dildos, because that's a felony. So it's like, hey, if I move to Texas, I'm already causing felonies because I got way more than that right now, and that's because of my job. But yet you could have butt toys of the yin yang. They also show Ted Cruz on the floor of the House or the Senate, I can't remember, whatever floor. And this is in their library. So you could actually go and request it from the state of Texas, this video clip of him arguing, literally arguing, that it is the woman's obligation to report her husband if he tries to sodomize her. And we're like, what do you mean tries to sodomize? Yeah, so if what do you call it, if the penis slips into the anus, the wife is supposed to report the husband for sodomizing her. That's why, even if they were consensual, even it's like, oops, it's a slip, nope, she has to report her husband. I'm like, wow. And he's like fighting this, and they're all trying, and you see the rest of the friggin' House and Senate trying to keep a straight face. Even the person on the floor is like asking him these questions. I'm like, you want the wife to report if the husband's penis accidentally slides in her anus. Yes, it is her moral right to do. I was like, whoa. And this is legit. You can request it. I don't know the specifics, but on Dildo Diaries, it'll tell you. Our friends in Texas, we said they need to get the guns out of the safe and put the toys in the safe. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. The guns have a hell of more rights than the friggin' dildos, like the toys. I mean, seriously. And I was like, so let me get this straight. I can't have 6 dildos. I got to report my husband for trying to have anal sex with me. Like, wow, I have to fill out a form so I can buy these toys. Hope there will be a replay other sessions. My audio has died. Yes, you can catch the replay on SDC. If not, you can go to our YouTube channel on Sex Positive Me to catch the replay. So please don't judge me on not having like nice, pretty graphics and descriptions. But yes, you can catch the replays there. It's like, I am horrible. I think I'm getting an assistant to help me fix that error at this moment. It's still in negotiations right now, so it's like do that. But yes, if you can't watch it on SDC, you could definitely watch it on YouTube. We do have the replay, and then also on Facebook Live in our group. So that's the best part about all this stuff. We just haven't really put anything on podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or those. Because everything we just locked down video, which makes me say I am not the world's greatest social media marketer because I have so many video clips that I should be putting them on TikTok and go that TikTok way, but it's like it's so complicated. It's like John's the techie guy. I'm supposed to be the marketing girl, so it's just like I'm just a cute one. That's all. I'm just like it's the cute there. But yeah, I got 9 minutes left. Any other questions you want to have, like talk about? But definitely, as like I said, if you really want to look at a documentary that should be considered a parody, Dildo Diaries. That's a good one there, and just even some of your laws. I think even here. In Florida, they're still called blue laws, like books that were back. Sodomy is on there. So considering how Central Florida is very LGBTQA friendly, yeah, it's on the books. They're having illegal sex. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, there's also on the books that if you're not married, you can't live together. So yeah, a lot of crazy laws there. So, I mean, I know not a lot of people are, pushing it, but the other laws are like, it's like, what are you pushing there? So here's my plug and my pitch. So that way everyone knows we're Sex Positive Me, also Date Night with the Lunas, John and Angelique. We do offer coaching, private classes, one-on-one. Also, we have the podcast. We have our YouTube channel. So you can find us anywhere and everywhere. So if you have any questions or needs, please let us know. We're always here, happy to help, give great information. I mean, yeah, our podcast, Sex Positive Me, has a lot of great info, past interviews, because we've been doing this like for 5 years. So we just kind of like transitioned over to Date Night with the Lunas because it seems more fun and entertaining than Sex Positive Me. I think we'll go back to those, get back to those interviews, because I know we've had a couple of people reach out wanting to be on the show. And I'm like, I haven't responded just because it's like, we haven't done much. And it's like, and then with Date Night with the Lunas, we've only had one interview, which was with Kate Lurie, but I thought everyone needed to know about her book, Open Deeply, because it's just like the blueprint. Like every mistake that she mentions in that book, it's like, I went through that. I went through all of that growing up and going, it's like, where was this when I needed this 30 some odd years ago? Yes, I've been swinging that long. When you used to put ads in the Pennywise paper, Penny Saver paper, had to mail it in, wait 2 to 3 weeks, then wait another 2 to 3 weeks for some kind of reply. They already took your money and you're looking for your ad. Yeah, that's how we used to do dates. Pre-internet, pre-Craigslist, pre-AOL chat rooms. I don't think too many people remember AOL chat rooms, let alone landlines. I don't think anyone's like, any book recommendations for swingers? Well, that one's my number one, the Open Deeply one. Love is Blind, I think, or Love is Colorblind. That's by Patterson. Can't remember his first name right now, but that one's a good one. What do you call it? Tristan Taramino has so many good ones on swinging. Would be like opening up is that everyone starts with the ethical slut. That's always like the first go to, but that's why I'm trying to change it to open deeply, because open deeply not only focus more like on ethical, not on, basically she says non-monogamy. Is it ethical? That's up to you. Non-monogamy, and because a lot of things do cross over like into the polyamory, into the BDSM world, and that's where people kind of forget that they all cross streams, but some people are very judgmental. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. But those books to start off with are my favorite. And not to mention, I do know the authors personally because they, live it, they teach it, they coach it. Kate Laree is actually a psychotherapist in regards to it. So it's like all that information is from her like 15 years of in therapy, helping other clients in the clinical sense. So that is very clinical, but I love like she made it very user friendly, so it's not just kind of clinical up here, but like kind of layman's terms. So she really like holds her hand the whole time and explains situations, and she does that. Instead of doing this, you should have done that, how to act, how to react, especially when you're going through like jealousies and going through people with ADHD or PTSD, that they have like these traumas in their relationships. Because one of the things I always ask like clients is like, what is it in your background that wants you to open up your relationship or go into the swinging? Because you don't go into swinging or ethical non-monogamy or non-monogamy just to try to save your relationship or try to see if you can make it better. If the foundation is shaky, the foundation is going to explode. It's not supposed to. What happens is it enhances what is currently going on with your relationship. So if you have a stable, healthy relationship, it's going to get better and it's going to grow. If you have an unstable foundation, it's just going to explode and tumble even further down. So kind of like, all these buildings that are in earthquakes and you're like kind of shaky. Yeah. So always make sure you have a good understanding, and constantly it's communicate. And when you think you communicate again. That's one thing I cannot stress enough. Also, it's like if you're afraid to talk to your partner, get a coach, get a therapist, get someone that could be like your referee per se, to help you find the right words and how to communicate to your partner and how to get things through. Because sometimes you might be talking Spanish versus Italian, and you're probably saying the same things, but just in two different languages. So you need kind of like a translator to help you understand what's going on, what's happening, how we can make it better. What is the solution? How do we like get past all these past traumas, all these past insecurities? What is it that I need as a reassurance? But, oftentimes I go back to the person and I said, hey, do you know yourself? And they're like, what do you mean? Well, if you know yourself, then you're able to communicate what is it that's considered a landmine? What is it considered, a trauma or a trigger? Or what do you need to feel better? What is your security blanket? Is it words? Is it actions? What is it that you need? So really get to know yourself first before you get to try to work on your relationship, because you're probably going to be pushing and saying, this is what I need to work on. This is this. But what is it? Are you working on you? We're not trying to fix or do anything with the other person. It's like, it's a team effort. And if we don't work together as a team, something's going to like explode, and it's going to be far worse than anything. So that's why, I always recommend definitely seeing a mental health professional or a coach or someone who could understand your viewpoints. And National Coalition of Sexual Freedom, which is ncsf.org, has a list of a lot of kink aware professionals. I know I'm not on there. I should be. I'm horrible at that. Again, bad marketing here. But it's just one of those like great resources, great information, and keep going until you find the right professional that's not going to judge you. And if they do judge you, keep looking, keep searching. And it's like, and we will try to help you find the right one. I might not know the answers, but I could help you find the right answers. So, with that being said, time is up. Thank you very much for joining me on Monday night. So, we'll see you next week with our adventures and cruise. Pray for us, say that we find a couple to play with. And if you feel like giving us any wedding anniversaries, hit us up on Cash App. It's MS Angelique Luna if you want, no asks or Venmo. So, thanks very much. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.